Okay, good morning, everybody. Let's see here. MEIP, let's take a look. Yeah, it's looking okay. It is a little cheap, but we're playing a couple things today that are pretty cheap, so yeah, we'll keep it open. We'll see what happens with it. There's a couple half decent looking things, but so far nothing fantastic, that's for sure. Not seeing a whole lot more pop up, so we have SMMT here with an okay range, going from $1 to $1.35. ANGH not really looking too bad, from 264 to a high there, 335. Works is not really great. But it's going from 69 cents all the way to 83 cents, so a good range on it. We've got STRY, Stry. We're going from 17 cents all the way up to 26, so that's got a good range to it. VTNG is not looking too bad here. I mean, theoretically down to 12 cents, but we're going to call it from 14 to maybe almost 17, so not really much of a range there. MEIP's got a good range to it, 20 cents to 28 cents, so I mean, it's not doing too bad. In regards to price action, it's not really looking great, but we'll see what it is. It is what it is. And then we've got ES here breaking down to the 3900s here, just barely, but it's getting there. So we'll see what happens with ES as well. The market should be opening. So far, SMMT is heading down. ANGH is not really doing a whole lot. Works did spike up there. Stry, might bounce off that bottom level. We'll keep an eye on that. VTNG looks like it might head up. I kind of want to give VTNG a try right away here. Let's see, where are we? There we go. VTGN? I keep saying VTNG. But we're going to be looking for probably... I'd really like to get down near this 1450 area. Maybe we'll just leave this alone for now. If it comes down to that point, maybe we'll look at it. ANGH with a nice spike. We do look to see some bullish pressure on SMMT, so I'm going to go ahead and maybe take an SMMT entry around here. Any from like $1.28 would be good. We're going to be looking for $1.50, and we're going to be going for about $1.20, $1.25, $1.24 stop loss, so 3-4 cents, something like that. So we'll go $1.24. We're already up to $1.38, so we took a pretty nice jump there. This is SMT. I'm going to take a little bit of profit here. Taking some profit. SMT, $1.38. What do we hit at the top there? We hit $1.41, so I mean maybe even got better than $1.38. ANGH, nice spike there, showing a bit of weakness up here, so I think we're going to wait for it to come back down a little bit. We've got Works, not really doing much. Stry's breaking ground. VTNG is getting close to that 1450 area we were talking about. MEIP, it's not doing bad. It bounced off the VWAP there. It is coming back up. Not really looking great, though. Not really what I want to see out of that. SMMT back up to 140. 130 is where I got in. ANGH is back down now. So, I mean, like, if we get around 280 on ANGH, that might be the proper area. So, ANGH, we're going to be looking for about 280 on it. I'm going to go for maybe a 320 with a 270, 272. Give it a 272, yeah. Okay, so you know what? We hit a 279 here. Not looking too bad. We're going to try and get an entry right there. Not going to move that stop down any further, though. SMMT's back down a little bit. ANGH holding here. Works, not really doing much. Stry continues to drop. VTNG bounces off that bottom band there. So 1420, that's where we were saying. VTGN, not VTNG. I might even type it in wrong, so just be watching that. 1450. We're gonna go for maybe just a 1350 stop loss. 0.1350 stop loss, and then we're gonna go for at least 0.16. VTGN. Yes. Okay, got that right. Typed it in right. VTGN. If you get lower than 1452, I mean, you could get down as low as the 1420s. But it really depends on, down here, like where you want the stop. Even if you got in at 1420, I don't think you really need to worry about moving your stop down lower. If it breaks down from this 200, we probably don't want to be touching it, right? So, should be okay where it is. ANGH still holding, SMMT still holding around that $1.40 area. We did touch $1.43. I'm probably looking for at least $1.40. Yeah, probably about $1.45 to take more profit. So we're going to be looking around here for more profit. ANGH first price target's going to be $2.90. All right, VTGN, VTGN. Man, that's going to be hard for me. I'm probably going to look at 1550 for the first scale out. MEIP is not really doing what I want it to do here, but we can take a look and see if something else popped up. We got VVNT. I mean, like, I don't really... Yeah, it looks like an offering to me. BSGM. That one's starting to move. BSGM's actually looking pretty decent, so keep that one on your radar here. You don't have a lot in terms of support, so, I mean, this is going to be a risky one, BSGM, but I don't want to miss any opportunities today. 0.60. If you can get 0.60. We're going to go for 0.66 at least, and then a 0.50, give it a 0.58 stop. So we're going to give it 2 cents, which isn't a lot with the kind of volatility we have here, but we can't really afford to give it much more. We could give it like maybe 1 more cent max, but I don't really think it's super necessary. ANGH blows right into our stop there. Nothing to do about that. That was just a nasty, nasty drop. So we're taking a stop on that. Currently we're at 62 cents here. We reached down to 61 cents. SMT, also nasty drop too. We almost hit that. We hit 144 there. Maybe you got a scale out around there. I don't really know if you did or not. Depends how diligently you were watching it. This could be another good area to buy in here, $1.26. I'm going to go ahead and load up some more shares of SMMT. Maybe $1.25. Going to go for that $1.50 area again with a $1.20. Give it a $1.21 stop. We're going to wait for that entry a little bit here, though. We're going to go ahead and cancel that. And we'll see where this drops to. And then, yeah, $1.25 looks like it's starting to hold. Looks like you might be able to squeeze $1.24 or something, maybe $1.23. Go $1.24 to $1.20. Unfortunately, I kind of want to get it below that $1.18 stop, but I don't think that's going to happen. Or $1.18 support area. We'll just say that, and we'll run with it, I guess. We're kind of hoping this holds here, but BSGM 61 cents. So I mean, you might have gotten in here. If not, and you're still waiting. I mean, 60 cents is pretty close. STRY looks like it's coming back. ANG. This could be a very good recovery play. I think I'm willing to give it a shot again. Okay, first we have to say we stopped out on ANGH. And now we're going to go ANGH 240. Also, I guess 245 is probably closer to where we need to be. We're going to go to maybe just 260. And then a 235 stop. So we're going to give it 10 cents. That's a lot, but we probably don't need quite 10 cents. You could probably move it up a couple cents, but you want it so it's breaking a new low if you're going to stop out. VTGN's kind of just all over the place right now. Haven't quite hit that 15.50 area. We did touch 15 cents. You could take a little bit there if you want to, depending again on where you got in on the scale. If you got in very low on that 14 scale, taking around 15 is not going to kill you. Otherwise, it looks like we're just bouncing around. So far, we're doing okay on this. SMMT here, not really holding where we want to. Drop down to $1.21. We're looking at about $1.20 stop. So stop is going to be right there. So hopefully we don't hit that. Okay. ANGH still holding. Stride, yeah, you know, I'm not sure that's going to break through that resistance there. Back up to 15 here, so you could take some profits if you want. BSGM's holding, so we did see a drop down to the just touching that 0.60. I think just touching 0.60. Was it this candle that touched it? No, it looks like it just hit the 61-cent low. Either way, if you jumped in, this looks like it should start curling up. Hit 121. Yeah, I know it hit 121. Super close. Yeah, 128 right there. You know what? I'm going to squeak away with a little bit of profit here. Taking a bit of profit, SMMT. We're looking at 128. Yeah, we came very, very close to stopping out on that. Yeah, SMT's curling right now, which is looking good. We are at 248 here. I mean, depending where you got in on ANGH here, this could be getting close to a point to take profits. I mean, it dropped down to 241 last candle, so about 253 I would like to take a little bit. So we're getting real close here. You could take anywhere there, 263 after that. Taking a bit of profit, ANGH 253-ish. We just hit 255, good enough for me. Okay, BSGM. All right, we've got VTGN still holding on. Summit curled up to that 127, 128 area. VTGN's making that push to that 1550 area. It looks like BSGM's holding that 61 cent. So got a couple things going here. And holding nicely so far. That was definitely the kind of dip we want to take that recovery play off of. SMMT back down, just touching stop, so we'll be stopping out on the remainder here. BSGM making its way back up to 63 cents. So if you got in around 61 cents, I wouldn't really say to take profits quite yet. I'd say maybe 64. You could start to take some. I mean, you can at 63 cents. So you're still up a little bit there. As far as VTGN goes, this is where we want to start looking at taking that profit. VTGN 1570-ish. Okay. Looks like we're getting very close to 16. ANGH back down a little bit. We did break that 253 zone, moving up to 256. Summit, I still don't think the Summit's done here. We could look for another entry right off this support area 118. That might be the proper play here. I'm not seeing, there's not a ton of support in that area, but we have seen it bounce a couple times, so there's a good chance it does it again. Summit 118, gonna go one. I still think that I want to go at least 140 on this, and if we get that, it would be fantastic. And then we're probably going to go for a 114 stop, so we're going to give it that 4 cents. I really don't like this whole hitting 1 PT and then stopping out thing, but as long as we're scaling out at least somewhat heavy on that first point, it makes it a little bit better. So we're at 122 currently. If you got on 118, we're looking at probably, I mean, you're probably looking at about 4 to 5 cents, right? So sitting at 123 right now is not too bad. 124 would be preferable for a price target. Works is kind of just ranging between 76 cents and 79 cents. I mean, we could be playing that a little bit. VTGN blows through 16 cents. We're going to take some profits here. More profits. VTGN 16.1660. Okay, SMMT is holding here currently. Looking good around 122. Didn't quite get want that right at that 24-cent range. Past 24 cents, I mean, our next one's probably going to be about 130. That would be pretty ideal. Hopefully we can break through that. ANGH, I'm still hoping for a little bit better recovery here, at least to 263. Stry's not able to break through yet, but this is starting to look good. We've retested, so that it could break through this time. VTGN touches 1660, bounces back down to that 1550 area. Not looking for a re-entry on this unless we got back down to 1450. BSGM still kind of holding on here, not really doing a whole lot though. Should actually move these up since we've got these in play. Yeah, Stry is starting to look, but the problem is we've already dropped so low, right? We're basically back down to where there was like almost no action. We're gonna see. We're gonna give it some time. I'd like to see a little bit of a breakout here though. VTGN bouncing around, ANGH not doing much. Summit does touch that 124 area, so that's where you want to take some profit. SMMT 124. Hopefully we hit that second price target 130. VTGN looking pretty bullish, I'd say. BSGM's not really doing a whole lot of anything. Volume's declining, MACD's declining. Not really what I want to see. Pretty bearish on the 5-minute. Still pretty bearish on the 5-minute on ANGH as well. Summit back down a little bit here. 5 minutes looking pretty good though. I think we're due for a good recovery on Summit. Okay. Let's start looking at some new tickers here. We got EPOW. EPOW's kind of running. It actually halted and unhalted here. So we're looking at 413 to 460 and then opening up around 470 to 513. Now we're going back down. We can watch this. I'm not sure it'll be playable, but we'll watch it. We got Sumo. Same kind of story, $7.90 to $8.55. The range is pretty slim on this, especially right now. We're looking at like $8.17 to probably realistically $8.50. So not really great. But again, we'll leave it open because we don't have a lot of options today. FLJ. Really annoying to type. Good because it's got no action. NUVB. Yeah, I don't like that either. MKTW. Nope. Grill. Nope. Okay, well we'll just leave it as is then. MEIP is really not ranging enough right now, so we'll close that down for now. Stry, I'm still waiting for that breakout. Works, again, it's in a playable range, 75 to like 80. Not a lot of profit, but you could squeak something out of it. Seeing a nice move here on Summit. You could take a little bit here. We're hitting resistance, so I mean that's always a possibility. If not, we're waiting for about 130 and making its move up to that 260 area. Hopefully VTGN does something. BSGM is going to be a stop out for us. BSGM. Didn't think that was looking good. Should have cut it earlier, but just decided to hold on a little bit longer. And we'll see what happened, but yeah, didn't end up working the way we wanted it to. Okay, so hitting resistance on Summit, but it looks like it's holding so far. We just need breakthrough VWAP. Maybe we'll see that next target. Oh, look at that bounce on BSGM. Touched 57 cents, bounced all the way up to 60. Funny stuff. ANGH touches that 263 there, hitting 266. Taking profits around 263-ish on ANGH. Rough day. What's going on, Rami? Just hitting a bunch of stops. Nothing happening? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected that. Especially look at the pre-market scanners, and there's really nothing going on. It's been a really boring, like, probably week. Last 5 trading days have been pretty boring. Hey, there you go. There you go. As long as you're up, that's what matters. SMMT not really doing anything. ANGH, yeah, I'd like to ultimately for this next price target. I think we're looking at about 273, which just happens to be right on that 200, which is where we want it. Yeah. Yep. I feel that too. There has been quite a few days where at least there's something to play, where today I feel like, yeah, you're right about that. There's a lot of knives. There's not a lot of things that are moving. But, you know, you got to kind of adjust the way you play, right? So, seeing knives, right? We saw one here. We saw one here. So instead of, you know, just taking plays willy-nilly, we're waiting for that knife and then we're taking advantage of it, right? So we did that on both of these. BSGM, different story. We didn't wait for the knife, so what happened? We got stopped out. Now we could be looking for another play here, but we need to wait and see something that we actually like on it first, and right now it's not really giving us any of that. Am I in SMMT still? Yeah, I am. I will be even past 130. I'll still be holding some shares. Mostly because you could never tell this could be one of those days where things knife down and then kind of go flat for a little bit and then shoot right back up, right? So we want to make sure we're in it for that. VTGN here coming back down. I still want to see this at 1450 if I want to pick up more shares. We're wicking out pretty hard on ANGH, so it could be a while before we see more profit. EPOW kind of giving most of it back here on the 1 minute. 5 minutes starting to look a little bullish. We might have actually a play coming up here on the 20 EMA. We could take a chance here at 440. The problem is we don't have a lot of, I feel like we just don't have a lot of momentum going into this, so I don't really want to just jump on something because it's dying and hitting a line. It's going to start moving right back up now. All right, we're getting close to a VTGN entry here. The question is, do we think it's going to come back? We still have plenty of volume. It's a lot of selling volume right now. I think I'm ready to give it another shot. So VTGN. Yeah, VTGN. 0.1450. We're going to be going for at least 16 cents for the final PT. And then, like, you know, a 13.1350. And that's a 0.16. All right. So that's what we're hoping for here. 1350 is the stop. Now, whether we hold all the way down there, that's a whole different story. I mean, realistically, anything below 14 is probably not gonna, really make a huge difference. So you could have a stop here if it makes you feel a little bit better. Bouncing right back up to 50, almost 1550. We can start to look at taking some profits here already. Some profits. BTGN 0.1550. Around 1550 anyway. I like when stuff like that happens. Okay, so KSAW says the tracker will count the decimal points. It just looks like it rounds up. So typing in the actual decimal points of these trades. So even if it's rounded up, just be aware that it's not always a whole number. Apparently, it's still counting the micros, whatever you want to call that. Just decimals. Just call it decimals. I guess that's the easy thing to call it. SMMT here, 134, 135. We can look at taking some profit here. SMMT, 135. And now we're at that point where we could actually start to think about taking most of it out around 135, and we can probably just leave a little bit of a runner here. Maybe we're looking to break to 145. That would be cool. Still seeing quite a bit of selling pressure, but we'll see. MIA and SMMT first. Is it an entry? It's first we up cross. We learned how. Yeah. Well, I mean, in retrospect, I didn't read this at the right time, but I would say, yeah, it was a proper entry. But we have got that beginner strat or something of the sort, right? We see it crossing above the VWAP. We see the MACD, and we also see it crossing above the VWAP. So that's a sign of good bullish pressure. Getting in now, I'd say no, but if you caught it right at that VWAP, probably would have been okay. Looks like it came up and then it retested back down at some point. On VTGN, yes, I have, yeah. Yeah, we got close enough that I wanted to take it. You got in 125, SL was 118. Ooh, 127. Well, you squeaked away with a little bit of profit there. Just a tiny, tiny bit. At least it's green. Damn, and it just hit 137 too. Like, just squeaked to 137. Well, good price target though. Even if you didn't hit it, at least you called it right. Kind of makes you feel better. Still kind of sucks when you don't actually get it. I do that all the time where I'll call a stock that looks good and just not even get in, and then it does exactly what I said it was going to do. Sitting there shooting myself in the foot, not trusting myself, but it is what it is. SMT, yeah, SMMT is probably too high right now. I'm going to wait for it to come back down before another entry. VTGN's not looking too bad here. It's kind of doing what it did prior, right? So I'm sure it'll come back up. If you didn't get profits quite last time, I'm sure it'll come back up. You'll get some. Still ultimately hoping for above 16, though. BSGM's starting to come back up, but we're not seeing the volume we want to see. Since it never hit the 118 entry, yeah. Yeah, that's the game, right? If you wait for the exact number, probably about 50% of the time you'll miss it. I'd say probably at least 50% of the time. Yeah, EPOW's just giving it up here. There's no point in playing that. It's just going to continue to die here. Probably all the way back down. It might even break lower than where it was before, which is the crazy thing to see. VTGN just not looking good here. If you're still in VTGN, you're probably going to want to cut. Should you aim slightly higher? I mean, like, there's no right answer to that. Sometimes it's better to aim higher. Sometimes it's better to aim lower. It honestly depends on how the stock's looking. think everybody who it takes a little bit of time for people to get used to, you know, penny stocks and how these things move. You know, I don't have a crystal ball, so when we're trying to play things that are dropping or in areas of support, it's kind of a guessing game. It's a guessing game for me as much as anybody else. Um, so I mean, is it? There's no real right answer all the time, right? If you get in higher and then it drops to a lower entry, you might be shooting yourself in the foot. But if you wait for that lower entry and it never comes, then you just didn't get in, right? So it's you kind of have to, I guess, pick and choose, but also at the same time, you don't really want to be trying to pick and choose too much on the plays that you take because if you, unless you're good at it, if you're good at it, then by all means, you can always choose the better plays if you see them. But if you're not finding what are the better plays before they happen, then you kind of the whole point of what am I trying to say here? The whole point of like what we do is like it's kind of a numbers game, right? You find stuff that looks like a half decent entry, you jump in. As long as you have good risk management, eventually the things that work out well, and the things that don't just get cut pretty quick. So it's a numbers game at the end of the day. What do I suggest for beginners? I definitely suggest paper trading until you figure it out because there's no point in wasting real money trying to learn until you know you have a solid understanding of how it plays out. Um, if you're just starting out with this, it's probably best to just aim for slightly higher on the pullbacks. I mean, that's probably the best. And then maybe give it the same stop loss I do, or maybe even like a cent more. Usually, if I do get stopped out, it's by very, very little. So you could try that. The downside to that is, of course, you're giving it a little bit extra room, which isn't necessarily beneficial either. So the days that are good, it might work out and you might walk away with quite a bit of money. The days that are bad, you could end up losing more than the average person. So it's yeah, it's one of those things. Um, but yeah, I mean, like this is also a completely different style of trading than most other day traders, right? So as far as like being new goes, if you're super new to day trading or scalping, it's just always going to be tough to start with this. It's much easier to start with traditional day trading where, you know, you're watching for a specific key level, you're buying in, you're holding for an hour or two, and then you're selling. That's just way easier. And then there's like lots of things that you need to, you know, have set up. You need to have hotkeys set up. You have to have a direct market access broker, you know, solid understanding of like price action. This style is probably the hardest to learn and get a hold of, but it's the easiest to make profit on once you do because you're only taking advantage of very slight price action, right? So it can be very beneficial. We're starting to see an area of support here on SMMT. Hopefully this holds around here. I'm starting to think we might have some support right here. I'm seeing it bounce off a lot of these 1 minute candles there. Even on the 5 minute, it looks like a pretty decent area. So I think if we could get an entry on 122, 123 here. Another 3-cent win on that drop. Way to go. You're scalping your way to victory. Let's see here. ANGH, it's not looking good. So, I mean, if you're still holding on to ANGH, this is another one that could be bad. VTGN, really not looking good here. So I definitely consider cutting that. BSGM's not got it. It doesn't have anything going on. SMMT is really the only thing I like right now. 20 bucks on a 3K account is not bad. Yep. All right. Looks like SMMT's leaving the station here. Bought yourself lunch, Remy. Way to go. That's not bad. As per a day like today. Yep, with a 3K account. All right, we're at like 124 here on SMMT. I'm starting to think I might want to just jump in. SMMT, realistically, I'm gonna say 122-ish because like 122 is probably like the lowest point. I'd like 135 out of it. I don't know how reasonable that's going to be, but we'll try. And then like a 118 stop. Yeah, we'll go 118 stop. Looks like 23 cents is going to be the spot to jump in at, I guess. So at 123, you could move it to 119 if you want to. No, I don't want that line. I'm going to have to put a line here and then move it up, I think. It's too close. There you go. All right, we'll see. Yeah, it's tough to learn in this market, and it's very demoralizing, but you're setting yourself up for success in the long haul when you start in a crap market. If you start in a good market, your expectations are way too high, and you don't actually learn, because you only really learn when you lose. If you're winning the whole time, your brain is completely shut off to the idea that you need to learn something, right? All right, so I mean, realistically, if we got on 123, 128 is a good place to take some profits here. So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there's the bad part of starting in a bad market is you're not making a ton of money right off the bat, but I honestly think that's the better way to do it. What's my P&L? Let's take a look. 2% on the dot, so 110 bucks on the account today. So we're doing okay. It's not great. Definitely not a great market. Exactly. And that's the right attitude to have. The money will come. People who chase the money are the people who fail, unfortunately. They're sweating over, not making any money, and then they try to force plays that shouldn't even be plays in the first place, and then they end up just losing it. And then the second they lose money, they end up giving up, which is the other problem, right? Sumo down to 200. I'm still not liking this enough to make a play off it, but we do have another one popping up here. PRDS we can take a look at. Whoop. Did they change their ghost thing? This looks different from what it used to be. I'm not sure what it was before, but it wasn't this. I'm pretty sure. PRDS is not looking good though. SLNH. Don't like that either, unfortunately. Last year in December, losing your mind almost every day. Yeah. I remember you really struggling too. Yep. It's definitely a challenge, especially if you... It's especially hard for people who come in with the wrong mindset and then having to change that later. That's a very hard place to be. And I think it's also especially hard for people that are coming from different styles of day trading and then coming into this, because you have, expectations, and you come in with like a false sense of confidence because you think that you've like done this before or something similar to it, so it should be relatively the same, and it's really not, right? There's a lot of different factors to watch out for. So we hit that 128 zone. This 130 zone's not actually supposed to be there. We hit 128, so we're looking at 133 for the next one. Taking some profit. How do I scale out? Are we talking like how much do I scale out? Or are we talking about physically how am I scaling out? How if you do multiple orders? So my scaling out really depends on the day. Lately I've been scaling out more early and then less later. But if we're in a more bullish market, then I'll scale out more later and less early because I'm more confident we're going to hit multiple PTs. So like the first one, I'm usually anywhere between like 50 to 70% of the trade is coming out this first PT, and then usually like another 15-20% at the next one. It depends on the stock and how it's moving. This one, I'm not confident we're going to hit past the 133 to 135 area, so I mean, this I'm scaling out 70%, then I'll scale it another 20% at 133, and then anything past that's just gravy. And then as far as like how I'm actually scaling out, I'm just using the order window. Um, IBKR doesn't really have a good way of doing it. You could set up multiple hotkeys with, different amounts of shares to sell, and that would work kind of, except we play stocks that are 10 cents and we play stocks that are $10. So there's such a huge range there. It's just easier to do it manually with the order window. What I like about Trade Zero is you can sell a percentage of the trade, right? Which is fantastic. And I've probably submitted about 35 tickets now to them to say to add a percentage stop loss, because if they can do that, I'll make the switch. But they don't like listening, so I'm just going to keep opening requests and tickets and just saying it over and over until they change it. Hotkey buying with an attached stop loss and PT and then dragging and where I want. Yep, that's good. That should be how it's done. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have the PT attached. The stop loss attached is the nice part and the must, right? I always have the 3% stop loss and then just adjust it later based on where I want it. VTGN's honestly not looking too bad here. It's holding a lot better than I expected. Nothing else is looking good. And ES just had like a 30-point drop. And Summit's back down to that 123 area. I think it's still tough to say if it's going to hold here or not, but I mean, we do have a decent amount of support in this area. And then we haven't seen a break lower than that 118 or 119 area, right? So as long as we don't drop all the way to the bottom of 118, we should be okay. Just working through all the channels here. Seeing what's up. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot of trading. Man, I should open up my Apex account and start trading this ES, because this looks like it's gonna dump again. I have a line here from I don't even know when. Could have been around here. We did see this actually not too many days ago. We saw 30.90.40. 39.40. I don't know where the hell they got 30.90.40 from. Actually, we've developed quite a base of support at that 39.40, 39.42 area, so we could actually see a decent drop until then, and then see what goes from there. I definitely pressed the wrong button there. Yeah. Don't know what else is going on here. Not a whole lot. Summit took a little bit more of a drop. Didn't break a new low though, so that's good so far. VTGN and ANGH just kind of holding on. Not doing a whole lot either. So boring. Oh my god, this week has just been a struggle. We should have just taken this whole week off so far. Got MSC popping up. Nope. What about BSGM? Do we have that open still? Yeah, we do. Never mind. Sumo, nice bounce so far. On WBEV, let's take a look. Wow, that was a nasty drop down to 9 cents. Do we expect to see some like good movement out of it? I'm not really sure. I'm also not really sure what happened there. it's not really moving yet. You just missed it. Oh my god. No, I didn't see that. I'm taking profits though. I'm just gonna pull out most of it here. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Yeah, don't know what happened there, but I'll happily take the rest and just yeah. What did we hit there? We hit 151. My lord. You saw it coming? There's 20 hours between those candles. Yeah, that's weird. You know what? Let's try it. Let's try WBEV. This looks like fun. 0.27-ish. Maybe 0.28 if you have to. 0.35 and then a 0.25. No, we can't do that. We got to go 0.26. Yeah, 0.26. We can't really afford anything lower than that. Giving it 2 cents is like an 8-cent stop loss. You got, yeah, that is the trouble with it, isn't it? All right, we're actually moving here in WBEV. This is looking good. What are we at here? 132 already? I'm gonna, no, not 132, 20. What am I talking about? 0.32. Okay, we're at point, I gotta like, God, dude, this is moving too fast for me. WBEV 0.34-ish. We're going up so fast. I was supposed to scale out like twice by now. Yeah, versus losing money, definitely a good call. You know what? This looks like it's going to keep going too. Very bullish. Very bullish stance on that stock. I'm gonna move WBEV up because we actually just made money on it, and I don't like these candles. I want them to like be different. There's no good way though because they're just so fat. Figured it out. And zoom out a little bit and then zoom back in, and it makes them look more regular. Big holders will be selling it at 0.40. I would probably agree with you. Yeah, they're going to be scared to see it anywhere close. You might even see it like 139 or 138, right? Especially with this gap down, if people had stop losses in place, you might actually see it where the stock comes back up, hits stop losses, so it drops back down. Nope, looking bearish now. This is all over the place. Starting to look like kind of like a bull flag right here. I'm not sure I want to touch it again yet though. It's too high up. I think we made a killing on WBEV there, even if you averaged in around 0.28. Yeah, about 25% on it so far, which is pretty killer. Now what's going to happen with it, that's a whole nother story. Yeah, I'm not going to touch Summit, that's for sure. We'll let it be for now. WBEV coming down a little bit here. I'm sure we'll see a bit of a consolidation after that run. We might even come back down to 28 cents for another shot at this. Yeah, I still want a bigger dip. I mean, like, this looks pretty bullish, but I mean, we came at this out of nowhere, right? There was nothing going on. Then all of a sudden we just get a candle from 122 to 150. That's huge. In fact, that should actually be halted. That's definitely, 10% or more. It's still a pretty good trade. Yeah, definitely a good trade. I don't know. This is looking fairly bullish. Like as a bull flag, this looks like it should start to move up from here. However, I'm still a little worried about it. Drop down to 129 there, not quite 128. I wouldn't really want to jump in higher than 128 on that. Yeah, not sure what's going on with SMMT here, but I'm a little too worried to jump in on it. It's too high for me. Yeah, Sumo can just be dead. Stride also not really looking great. In fact, I don't really like it at all. So I'm just gonna close that down. Works, same story. BSGM, same story. We're still tanking on ES here. Not looking good. We're hitting that 39.65 area. I still think we could come down to 39.40, 45 area at least. We'll see. Yeah, Summit continues to drop here. WBEV holding on. We're back to these stupid looking candles. I'm just going to keep it zoomed out a little bit. That's looking okay. Not ready to buy back in. Not sure about Summit either. We got PAFO halted. Didn't we look at PAFO yesterday? PAFO. Wow, just have like long periods here of absolutely zero price action and then huge jumps. $5.90 to $6.67. $2.83 spread. That is not nice. WBEV down to the 27-cent mark. We're seeing it right off VWAP here. Let's see if it holds. If it looks like it's going to hold here, there's a possibility we make a play out of this. However, this just doesn't look like something I'm wanting to give profits back on. Summit is going. We saw it break the high of the last two candles, which is definitely bullish. 5 minutes not looking too bad. I mean, 139 doesn't look too bad for an entry. If we could get that. I don't know if it'll come back down for that, but yeah, this one's just going to go for tanking here. We're almost back at that 24-cent post. We'll see when it hits 24 cents what it looks like. Toro says to go long on ES. I mean, we did bounce off this 30.65.5 like 20 times. So, I mean, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I still think the major trend here is going to be a downtrend. I think we still have time. We've got time and room to move back down to the 39.40s. So, we gonna see. But, you know, Toro kicks my butt like half the time here, so. I don't know if I actually want to jump in on Summit. I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a shot. SMT 139. Maybe we get even better than 139. What was the bottom here? 137. Maybe we try for 137. Maybe 130. Let's go 138. We'll meet in the middle. 138, 150, and then a 134 stop. So we're going to give it 4 cents. And that way it's got to break a new low here. Close enough. Okay, what are we sitting at here? 139 at the bottom here, and then we got 137 there. WBEV picking up a little bit of green here, but we did break a new low, which is not what I wanted to see. So that's a problem. That's a problem and a half. I don't know if I want to take that. All right, we're moving back up here on Summit. $142, $143. At 139, I mean, I'd like at least 145 out of it. That would be ideal for the first scale out. Looks like we might actually hit that pretty quickly. WBEV on its way back, gapped up. It's gapping up. That's not what I think I'm gonna just leave it alone. I made some money on it. I made some decent money on it. I think I'm just gonna let it be so I don't give it back. Ang not looking good. So if you're still holding on, you stopped out. Ah, damn it! It's gapping up again. I think I'm gonna do it again. WBEV 0.26-ish. Point 0.30 with a 0.25 stop out. We're already up at 0.29. Yeah. I mean, realistically, I'm gonna put 26.5 as the stop now because I got in a little bit later than I wanted to on WBEV, but that's okay because it looks like honestly it worked out pretty nicely here. Although I'm having a hard time even keeping up right now with what's going on. What did we hit there? We hit 32 cents. Okay. Honestly, it probably could have been a little more graceful with that. That didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to so far, but it didn't. I mean, it made 3 cents off it. Got in a lot higher than I wanted to, though. Honestly, even where I'm at sitting right now, I kind of want to move this up to 27.5. 27.5 seems pretty reasonable. Come on, close enough. I don't know if I'll get stopped out there or not, but I did end up with a much higher entry than I wanted. ES is actually moving back up. Toro got me again. SMMT, not looking good. We're hitting 136 here. Yeah, breaking a new low isn't necessarily what I want to see. I could get out a break even here. We're very, very close to it. Yeah. I don't know. No, I'm a hold. I think I can hit that price target. 145. Did I get a Toro signal for ES? Yeah, I mean, it showed along there. I just didn't believe it. I don't know how high this long signal is going to go either. I think we're hitting resistance at this band here at 39.72, maybe 39.73 there. So again, I'd be looking to take a short here. In fact, I think I still have the paper account open on this. Yeah, I do. I'm going to take a short right here. We'll see what happens with that. WBEV down a little bit. Still struggling on SMMT. PAFO, we can just close. We're not going to play that. We'll see what happens with this. I think this is a short point. WBEV down. Wow, look at that wick. Down 25 cents. That's nuts. There's so much volatility. If we could get back in at 25 cents, you could make so much money bringing this back up to 30 cents. 25 cents to 30 cents. You know how much money that is? I'll tell you how much money that is. That's 40%. I lost my tab. That's a lot of money. The spread's not even... Well, it's actually, the spread's really bad right now. But it wasn't bad earlier. What do we have for time? We got 3 minutes left, so you know what? We'll probably just we'll just leave it here and we'll go over to the money board. Okay, so we made $248 today, which actually ended up being really, really good. That's actually a lot more than we had 15, maybe 20 minutes ago, I would say, at most. We've only had like maybe 10 or 15 good minutes here, and it actually ended up making a big difference 4.6% on the portfolio. We're up over 100% today, which is pretty awesome. SMMT doesn't count for anything yet because obviously we haven't closed out any profits or losses on it, but just because of fees, it is red. BSGM minus 5%. So again, we're hitting pretty much that max stop loss on BSGM. ANGH was the other stop. Summit's been treating us okay. VTGN also treated us fine. Yeah, Summit's been pretty good. WBEV got us good. We got it good twice there. I think it's still playable. I think there's still opportunity. You just got to watch that spread. And we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, if the spread's not looking too bad and you think you can get in, it's like, and it's somewhere around 26, 25 cents. It might be worth taking that risk. I wouldn't say most of it was SSMT. Actually, most of it was WBEV over the last two trades here. We averaged about 40% on those last two trades for WBEV. But SMMT was probably the biggest otherwise because we hit it like 3 times. Actually, technically, we've hit it 4 times. We're just waiting on this to figure itself out. If we hit price target on this, I think SMMT will win as the biggest trading stock at the day. But until then, WBEV is so far in the lead just because it's such a small cap and it's moving around so much right now that we were able to capitalize on that pretty well. Like, yeah, even if you got in there 26 cents and it's back up to 28 now, if this hits 30, yeah, it'd be crazy. Just keep in mind, though, that goes both ways. If you get in too high and you stop out, you're losing quite a bit as well. So anyways, guys, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for sharing with me. Hopefully you made some money today, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. And hopefully we have a more eventful early morning. Take care, guys.